I lowered the laser to change the focal point deeper into the material, at least that's the idea. It draws the correct amount of current, but still, I mean, it's quite weak, to be honest. I think digging around with diode lasers is, well, it works maybe, well, at least. But cutting edge is quite nice. I'll fit it in the speaker, see how it goes. Well, eventually I got my PWM, keep saying that wrong, PWM signal working. It was a really stupid mistake. It was actually me not understanding how the controls of Mach 3 worked. So I used percentage up and down, and I hoped it would change anything. But you have to set the initial speed first, which I didn't. I would say that fits, but I think it's okay if it's slightly wider, so it's more snug. So, time to dismantle this panel, the one bearing the foil. So they just used a copper strip, nothing in between, no fat or anything, it's just a copper piece here, sandwiched by two nuts. Well, it's not pretty, but it works. I think contact adhesive was used, so it should soften up when you heat it. I don't want to heat it too much because, well, it's a plastic. There's aluminium on the backside as well. Not sure why, but that's weird. Beep beep. Aluminium on both sides. Not sure why. Oh, this is gonna be a nightmare. Ah, come on. Thin. Right, there you have a piece of foil. So there's foil on this side. And foil on that side. That will be insanely, yeah. This coil is printed on both sides, but why? There's no use for it. It's connected to only one side. Okay. There's not a, in my opinion, not a real reason to do that, except for maybe that's the material they could get, with aluminium on both sides. So there's one option of etching away all the aluminium on one side, but I guess their aluminium was not thick enough or something. Incredible weird. I don't have a double-sided aluminium foil. I would not use it if I had, but... Well, so much for getting it off in one go. So it's kind of a mess. So this is the foam, or foam, this is felt, not foam. I think it's seen some smoke, or UV. So I don't want to do much with this, except for making sure that there are no bumps. So I'll move that aside. This crap needs to go. So this looks awful, and you're right, it does. I need less benzene or acetone, I'm not sure yet, we'll see. Because I think the glue used is those brownish contact adhesive. Should dissolve with either this or acetone. MACP does the work as well, but it might dissolve the plastic as well. So I'm not gonna try that. I'll try this one first. It's the less aggressive. Does not seem to do anything. So if I cannot dissolve this, I have to remove it by mechanical force, which sucks. Since you you cannot use a sanding path or anything, I believe, because it will clog up real quick. So I just might have to scrape it. You can see crap coming off. I decided I'd give it a bit more time. So I'll... Whoopsie, that was not the idea. Let it soak a bit. I know this stuff evaporates really quick, but after some soaking it flakes off more easily. Still not perfect, but I remove as much as possible and soak it some more. Not sure if this is contact adhesive or silicone. Could be silicone. Which also kind of loosens up with the stuff I used, but not as much as contact adhesive. But the contact adhesive normally doesn't come off in this kind of flaky form. Not well. And it's also a little bit too light in color, if you ask me, but who knows. So, much cleaner already. It's almost nice and black. Few spots, I believe, that hold some of the adhesive. The biggest problem is not actually the adhesive on the spacer, but it's actually the tape they used. It's one of those tapes that become like a blobby mess when used with the wasmachine. It makes everything sticky. But I managed to remove it with that crap. I could do this for the rest of the day, I believe. It's not the plastics I remove. And because the color is different and this is rubbery, so this is still adhesive. So I'm not just scraping away the spacer. I wondered for a second what this silver stuff is, but they painted this piece of metal silver. Or spray painted it. That's what you can see here, it's silver paint. I thought it might be glue, but it's not glue. So, now I need something to put the foam back in. I ordered some 0.5mm foam adhesive pads thingies, but I don't think I actually need that. I'm just gonna cut a piece of double-sided tape and use that instead. This is not completely clean, as you can see, but I don't care much, because this part is lower than this. There won't be a really nice bond anyways, and this is where the connection points will be. So, and there is no aluminium on my mylar on the bottom side, so it doesn't really matter. So that's okay. So I'm gonna cut some strips of double-sided tape. It's not that terrible. This is how it was supported before. Just one double-sided tape, nothing more. So that's what I'll do. So just having a smaller tape would be nicer, of course, but I don't have any, so I'll grab one of my foamy bits, or two of them. See which side is the very neat looking one. This one. I think that looks neat. Now this thingy, should sit here in between. Well, there might be trouble. I don't know. To me, the problem seems, in this case, that this stuff is actually touching the foil. I don't think that's the idea. It should be able to move somewhere freely in the middle. And this should be there for damping, but apparently it is puffed up a bit. I have a strong feeling that I'll use my own stuff. It is less thick, but I think this is too thick. It leaves no room at all. I mean, it's, it was already a, does the mylar touch this foam thingy, which it actually might not do, I don't know. Might still need double-sided tape underneath this foam. I think I'll leave it out. This is gonna be a test one anyway, so I might rip everything apart once more. Not looking forward to it, to be honest. The whole thing is kind of a stupid mistake from me. Normally I say I don't do repairs of existing thingies, and I should have kept to that promise to myself. Because it is quite a lot of work, and yeah, this could take days before I have something that I am happy with. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut a piece of my felt thingy that will fit here. That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna check if I can cut a bad laser, because, well, why not? Very slow laser speeds, this is. Kinda sucks. Ugh. So 2 very consistently cut pieces. Yes, looks like I'm a bit lazy. I could cut this by hand, I guess. But this should be able to fit here. Ever so perfect. So now what they've done is, like, they have a thicker felt, so I'm not sure if this is gonna work. But felt on the membrane bearing piece, to me, is not ideal. But, well, anyhow, if you know which felt you want to use, that's no problem. But for a tester, I would reverse it so I can add felt as I please. That's not possible right now. I'm gonna use this instead of the yellow felt. And I'm gonna apply some adhesive on there. But I cannot spray because then it's everywhere. So I'll spray it on something else and use a Q-tip, I think. Not too much, because it will affect the dampening of the crap. Leave it to dry for a second or so. Okay, I think something like this. If it works, I don't know. I mean, this is much thicker, but it's puffed up so much that it will be thicker than, well, it will touch the mylar. I'm not sure. I don't think that's the idea, but I might be wrong. I never let it touch in my designs, at least. I've seen it touch in some Neos, but that was mostly because the magnets were, like, rusting away. So normally I would say, no, it doesn't touch the foil. It should not touch the foil. Probably people will comment now, like, it should touch the foil. Someone else will say, no, it shouldn't. Think. Here's a riddle. Well, anyhow, ready for some coil making thingies. Maybe today, maybe another day. Love it. Why the fuck? Gonna try something. It might be rare, but somehow this stuff tears up every time, and sometimes it doesn't when you use some spray glue. The only thing I worry about is that it screws up the gluing with the silicone. So I hope I can cut it with this and then clean it. I'm not sure. This might not work at all. I want to know if it cuts it clean like this. So it cuts it clean with some adhesive on top of it. I noticed this before and it's quite annoying. I mean, it's cool if you want to use Mylar afterwards to stick it on. It doesn't really matter. In this case, if I wanted to use the captain, then there's a layer of the other glue in between that doesn't take heat very well. So what's the use of using silicone adhesive if the layer in between the aluminium and the silicone is stuff that doesn't take heat very well? So the question now is, could I remove it and then proceed? I think no, but because it will also dissolve the adhesive where the aluminium is sitting on. So my guess is that things come off. But let's see. So far so good. It's quite cleanable. I don't have to clean everything because I have to remove aluminium as well, so. It's just a test piece. It's just a flesh wound. The adhesive on the plate is a bit too strong, I noticed. And now, the hard part. Oh. That went actually really well. Now this is not gonna be one I'm gonna use, I guess, but I'm gonna measure what the resistance is before I continue. And yeah, let's do that first. It should be 3.6, I believe. 3.9. 3.8. So slightly over, and that's probably because the knife width is not taking into account when I calculated this. Now the question is the adhesive of the Captain foil strong enough to get this off the cutting mat? And I have my doubts. Because at this moment, the stickiness of this mat, which I didn't recoat for a long time, is in some places really strong. I might need to clean that and start all over. Now the question is, will I risk fucking up a meter of this very expensive Captain foil or no? I think I'll have to try because it's here now. So I'll add a piece of Captain foil to a frame so I can dump it on, and then we hopefully can get it off. But I'm not too sure if that's possible. Here goes nothing. It doesn't work. Stretching this is gonna be a bitch, by the way. Because this captain is not very wide. Yep. There it comes off flying. Of course, it's stuck to itself. Making the whole thing a fail. Well, that's one foil fucked up. But, well, it worked until it released. It's all on there. Just looks very ugly. I cannot fix that anymore. I think. Because everything is sticky. God damn it. So it is on there. That worked. It stick very well. It came off quite okay. Except at the last moment it jumped up from the frame and then it rolled up and everything is screwed. 3.7 ohm. Yeah, so nothing really changed there. So if the foil didn't like roll up on itself, but as you can see there is almost no mile or no capton on the outer side or outside of the aluminium, so there is no room to stretch this. I don't want to stretch it really hard, but I do need to have it like kind of wrinkle free. I need wider foil, but they're not selling it to me for 600 euros, but I think that's a little bit too much, if you ask me. I'm gonna put it on the loudspeaker, see if the dimensions are correct, so the thing has some use. So, I rubbed some chalk powder into the adhesive of this foil, so it doesn't stick to itself anymore. So I could check like the dimensions. This is how it should fit, and it does so perfectly. So here it is, how it's supposed to be here, and now we can just to see if this connecting points are lining up, and by the looks of it, it is. Not sure if you can see it. I'll poke a hole, I think. Grab these, see how they, if it's possible to fit on there. So we have these two coppery thingies, but I believe they're different sizes. Yeah, so this one is smaller, it's supposed to be sitting here. This one is bigger, it should be sitting there. So let's see. So this sits here, and it doesn't connect to anything else. This one is sitting here. I might add a tape over the traces that run in between the connectors just to make sure nothing happens there. But it lines up actually quite perfect. Yeah, it's amazing. The problem is that this captain is not wide enough to make it usable in this case. But the whole shenanigans worked actually perfect. That would be the first time, I guess. So that's it for now. Because, well, there's some things to do. I don't have the correct mylar to stretch two films in one go. So I might do a single one next video and see what it does. I did, you know, contacted an eBay seller that sells mylar in wider rolls that I actually need, and I bought from him multiple times, but somehow he's not shipping to the Netherlands anymore. So I asked if I could still get those rolls, and I'll pay for the shipping. I don't care. I just need those 6 micron and 3 micron mylar for my collection. Well, anyhow, I'll see you next time, and this one is going in the dumpster, I guess. Or maybe I'll keep it just as reference thingy. But at least the design is correct. That's nice. I'll see you next time.